We are live. Thank you guys for joining us in the Cthulhu Cairo review, reviewing episodes 25 and 26, the start of the Italian chapter, the Italian job in
Yeah.
Cthulhu and Cairo.
Yeah.
uh, after the book uh, made with human skin. Um, Lots of great, Thulian and occult stuff gets thrown around in this, and well, in the second episode anyway, but also a lot of revelations for one of our players. How was that being played out? How was that? Because I mean, for one, you've got the players getting the realization of it, but then also like you're like the father of two of these players. So how does that kind of stuff translate? I mean, I assume they've had to talk. They're of age. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. They've been for a while.
I don't
Yes.
think Kayla appreciated the Seabiscuit comment.
Right. There was Kayla doesn't always appreciate a lot of the comments. But she's that's okay. She can rewrite it herself when she's ready. She's doing that anyway. So
Exactly.
yeah, she'll go ahead and write her own. The a lot of what starts to happen is because of scheduling too. So just to kind of get into the whole idea of this revelation about Faye's half sister coming out and the whole bit. It's really, there's times when I don't have everybody at the table and I have to do something to stall or to extend, or I've got to release something early, or maybe I got to pull something back that I'm in the middle of. Because we're real life people, and everybody tries to make every Thursday, but they can't. So some things start to happen, and this chapter you're going to see that happen a couple times, where it's like, oh wait, wasn't she part of that? But then I extended like one night. Catherine goes off by herself coming up, and so when you do those things, now you have to see them to the end. Like if I drop a nugget that Faye's got a half sister, now I got to roll with that and I got to build off it. So yeah. So I always planned to have Dawson, her father, have more secrets because of her solo adventure and stuff. But yeah, it was I don't know. It gets wacky, and the whole idea of him cheating. And let me tell you something. In real life, Melinda is so in love. I mean, she's so devoted to her mom and dad. They're really they're great people, and she's very much connected to them. Effing with that was great. Like just like your father's a piece of shit. Oh my god, you should have seen it. It was great.
No.
Yeah.
My father was a saint.
That's incredible that you hadn't built that into the story at that point. Like that's.
I mean, like I said, I knew he had secrets. The one secret that I did have, I didn't even reveal at this point. I just had moments where I said, okay, I gotta do this, or I gotta stall something, or pull something together. I know someone's gonna be missing in 2 weeks, so I gotta set something in motion. Because we try to always know each other's schedules about 2 weeks out, and it's always Thursdays booked. But if something happens, they usually give me a week or two notice.
Cool.
So things happen.
Nice. Yeah, things happen. Life
I mean,
unfortunately,
Amanda can attest to that in Poltergeist. She had a situation. She had to step out. I threw her out of a Zeppelin. It's good. It's all the same thing. She's like, what
that's all right.
Yeah, that's what I get for having a life outside of.
That's exactly.
Poltergeist.
I mean, Raz has found out the same thing in our Traveler game. Everybody's asking where he's going to, and I was like, he finally had enough of that irradiated lettuce, and he's just no longer with us. I don't know what to tell you, but he's glowing in the dark down in the cargo hold somewhere. But
bunch of carrots and lettuce.
Exactly.
As long as you don't say toss in the salad, I'm okay.
We're okay.
Use that reference. Thank you.
Speaking of phrasing, though, I loved the terminology and the verbiage that you're using in this, and using some of the Latin in this, again, giving it a Thulian kind of an occult feel, and then nothing brings you back to this ancient esoteric crap than like a dead language like Latin, but
that'll do it.
Yeah, or even using the Italian. I mean, your grasp of Italian is amazing for someone
who's not Italian.
Who's occupied Italian, but anyway. But we're going to let that go.
That is true. I mean, I'm sure you would do the same thing. Either one of you or your people at home. When I'm running in another country, I have Google Translator open in a window. And I'm quickly able to go and hit like, oh, That's what that word would. That's how that would be sounded, or that's what it would be.
Sweet.
So I leave Google Translate open in the language I need. I just keep throwing little, like I'll just even a key sentence will just make the whole thing come into like focus.
Sweet.
So yeah. Oh,
hey, Melinda's been able to join us. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Melinda.
Hi, lady.
Excellent, excellent.
I wondered how you did that, Raz.
oh, what the language?
Yeah, so easily.
It's not easy. I'm constantly mistyping, and then it translates to something that doesn't. I'm like, I don't think that's how that would say it. I gotta fix that.
Yeah.
Because my typing sometimes can be a little atrocious.
Yeah. But yeah, the occult elements of it was amazing as well. I meant to write down some of the names that he was throwing out there in that second episode, but when he was going on with like Blavatsky and stuff like that, I was like, yes, that checks, you know. And just from my rudimentary knowledge of that kind of stuff, what was going on, I read up a lot on the Golden Dawn, running a Golden Dawn campaign, like during the Victorian times, and all that stuff was really hitting its stride. And you know, and yeah, I was reading through all that, and you know, I mean, when he was dropping those names, and I'm like, yep. So I like that, you know, using the actual names of people, you know, and like, you know, and like the other events that's going on in the world and stuff like that, you know, at that time. So you know, just more and more excited to see who they're going to be running into, maybe a younger Mussolini. But I mean, but this is the 30s, so like the brown shirts are around at this time, aren't they?
Yeah, you're already getting fascism is running a little bit rampant.
Yeah,
very much so in Germany, but Italy was in its motion for it. Yeah, they were already starting to be pretty grounded and brought together as well. So we have. I don't remember. I don't believe when I go back through those notes though, that they have a lot of run-ins with the fascist government. A little bit's mentioned, but it's not a lot about the fascists in this part. But there's a lot of Venice intrigue, but that comes in from a different.
Sweet. Venice.
Venice.
Matt wanted to do this in chapter just to say that out. Just to say that out over.
Venice. It's great. Great movie.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. It is. So ladies, what do you have to ask about this episode, these two episodes here? Open the floor to you ladies here.
From Raz, not a lot. I will always remember episode 26 is the one where the characters have a lot of laughing at poor Faye's expense. Oh my gosh, the awful jokes.
Comedy of errors there. It's almost, so it's not errors, but just revelations. Just bad. It's like an old episode of Are You Being Served or something. I don't know.
Wow. And Catherine makes that one statement about Faye's father's love of food and
Italian food. Yeah.
Everybody else's brains just went straight to the gutter.
Justice for Faye. Melinda says justice for Faye. And rude, by the way. She also says rude in the comments. But
I really enjoyed the exchange in the bookstore between Catherine and what's his name? Started with a G.
Oh, the bookstore owner?
Yeah. Where he was like, I close at 8, and she was like, I won't need that long. It's just so
you have an occult section? 1931, they're in Venice. You're going, what?
I mean, that kind of like what you alluded to as well in the episodes. I mean, occult stuff is almost code for sex, because it's so much sex magic and stuff that's in it, and when you read into it, I mean, there's a lot of sex magic, which I guess, you want your people to keep coming back. You want them to do something that they enjoy. So, otherwise
cocaine's real expensive.
Cocaine's real expensive. I mean, otherwise
sex is free.
Otherwise, you just got a bunch of people standing around a table pushing little figures and objects at each other, and that's, I mean, we do that.
Yeah.
So,
That's why cultists are always naked under the robes. It's just for
just all it is.
It's like why
conditioning.
Yeah. Why bother?
It attracts a lot of deviant behavior, at least back then too. I think it was done in part to be shocking, but like when Gardner gets around to creating what would become modern witchcraft, he incorporated nudity in their rites because he gave it a really good phrase, but he was a nudist. He was into it. So hey, why don't I just make all of my followers and practitioners do the same thing?
Why not?
I'm sure that's part of the thinking.
I mean, you get. I'm going to
probably reveled in his.
Oh
his
no,
reputation.
he was terrible. I've got this idea, and people are willing to do what I want. Maybe I should have women dancing around a bonfire. Naked, not naked. What are we gonna? Okay, I'm gonna go naked. I mean, I don't think it's a big jump.
Naked.
Well, I like that how you had like Faye's father applied that into an excuse too. It was just a spell. It wasn't. It didn't mean anything. It didn't.
Yeah.
How many times we all heard that, ladies? I mean,
if her mother had been able to, he would have done it with her.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was trying to help your mother.
Like, shut up, Dad. Shut up, Dad. You're not helping, Dad.
Yeah, that all went. No matter how I rationalized it, back in these episodes, they're still hanging on and like trying to say, well, the keeper has a good reason, and they're going with it. Now, as we get into, we're about to release episode 100. Now, when I'm recording, every once in a while, thanks to you and our two ladies here, they'll say, "Hey, F you, you're doing that. That's you. You made that decision. Miller didn't have to do that." I'm like, well, okay.
We've been educated now.
Well, you broke the wall. You've taken the fourth wall out of acting.
Exactly.
And you've made this miserable. So thank you. It's not as easy as it used to be to beat up on people. Thank you.
No, we pulled back the curtain on
Oz.
I have to give Matt credit for that.
Yeah.
He's the one who first brought it up when Faye got beaten by the ghouls.
I know, right? Moment. I know. He describes in intricate detail all the different bruises and cuts and scrapes. I'm like, you did every one of them. You did every
You
sick But these episodes are setup episodes, right? That's pretty much, and it unleashes a terrible torrent of events. So I think until we recorded through Venice, and we it was more of a pulp drama. It had some Cthulhian elements, but this is where that stuff starts to become far more prevalent. And so if you've been listening, going, well, where's the tentacles? Where's the great old one? All that stuff is coming.
It's coming.
It's a slow build because it's
slow build. Yeah.
We have the time where we can do that, and we wanted to make this more about like a character story, not just the narrative of us. Okay, objective.
Yeah.
We set out to say, okay, we want these characters to be fun for people to listen to and draw them in like almost a soap opera, which again, most keepers don't have that kind of time.
No.
Looking back, I feel like Germany was still a bit of a prelude. Like the bit in England's a bit of a prologue. Now we've got the prelude, and now in Venice, they're really hitting it.
Yeah, Venice.
Yeah,
Venice.
I agree.
And I like I liked the first of the two episodes this week, where it kind of wrapped up everything for the players. What had happened. This is, and Faye got a bit feisty, which
I know.
With Aveline, which I loved to see. And then we start off in Venice. I also loved that you did the bit of a recap.
The recap.
That was really good.
That really was. I appreciate that, especially because when I'm reviewing, like when we're doing the reviews, I only listen to those two episodes in that week. I don't listen to anything else, just those two episodes. And I do it over and over and over again so I can remember everything that happened. So I get kind of lost in all of the stuff that we've listened to previously, all of the adventures that they've already been on and what they've already endured. I forget that. Yeah. So it was really nice to have oh shit, look at what they've already done.
Yeah.
That was very nice.
I wish we'd had that feedback a little sooner, because for the next 75 episodes, we're going to say, don't count on a lot of that. Like I think I do one more of those, and it's like after Nepal.
You can throw another one in. That's not a problem. You can throw another one. No sweat.
Well, now, but not, going back. Yeah.
Can we blame Matt again? Because he didn't get this idea and start this until
no. But it's great feedback, and in the future, we'll each chapter, maybe that's a great thing to do, is to wrap up and kind of give people a chance to say, oh right, that's how those dots connect, or that's that thread.
And really great radio drama voice too, I might add. It was really good. It was like, let's listen to an episode of The Shadow or something. It was pretty cool.
It was.
Well, thanks to Matt introducing me to Professor Dungeon Master and speaking with him, we're actually going to be dropping commercials from the time period.
Nice.
Not real ones.
Cool.
So we're going to have mock sponsorship halfway through an episode. We're going to break the tension a little bit with a mock commercial, and that's coming up when the YouTube channel starts coming out in about a couple.
Oh, that's neat.
This episode brought to you by Keeps Laudanum. Yes,
I love fake commercials set in a time period. They're great.
Oh my god, the one is for a wine company, and basically the whole thing. And I have the poster from the mock-up poster. And then we're going to put it up there. And it's basically like, ladies, if you're not drinking at 11 o'clock, you're doing this all wrong. You need to be on the sauce and hitting it. I'm talking about every 2 hours, dropping this wine until their husband comes home, and then nothing's going to matter. No matter what he says, no matter what kind of day he's had, you're okay. And we wrote this commercial up off this poster, and it's just hysterical. Joel does such a good job with it. It's going to be good.
Sounds great.
He's going to do a good job with it. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Right. Networking works. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Amanda. Absolutely.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to say I appreciated the tone. Like, I know they touched on serious stuff with Faye's half sister and things like that, but the tone of the episode was light, and it was nice to come off of the anxiety that I had at the end of Germany. Like, to have a lighter feeling to it was very like, okay, I can breathe. I know I'm going to have an anxiety attack later on, but for right now, I can let it go and breathe. It was nice. It was just really, really nice. And to still be able to touch on those heavier subjects, that her sister and stuff like that, and their next steps without having such a heavy feel to it was just very well done.
Yeah.
Every great keeper, Matt does it. I'm sure Melinda's doing it at her table. All the people at Lurking Fears that are out there, and there's a pace, and in a 4 hour you maybe have only one of those little light moments, but you set it up right. You give them a softball or a little gimme, and then you come in. So yeah, there's pacing, and with our show, because we have the time, we can give whole episodes to that, which is nice.
Yeah,
it does definitely help the listener kind of take a, like you said, especially because in today's day and age, a lot of binge, right? Oh, I'm going to do 4 or 5. I'm going to, I'm on vacation. I'm going to listen to a bunch. And if you did that in a row, it's just so much.
When if you listen to other players playing, some people are players, sir.
Right.
Which we found out, but people should definitely,
whoever you are, that wasn't me.
Some people who are only players should really listen to the podcast sometime, because you'll be educated on a lot of different stuff that you may want in your game. Honestly, the biggest thing that I do as a GM is every now and again I force myself on the other side of the GM screen and play a game with anybody. I don't care who. Won't care what system we're playing. I just want to play, and I want to sit from that side and see what the players are doing and interact as a player, because there's always something new that I can pick up that I can put into my next game.
Absolutely.
So I feel like, those who are not listening to podcast stuff like that are really missing out on some choice pieces that they can use in their game. Absolutely.
And again, I get that people are busy and it's not their gig, or people want to, they're more visual. But to learn our craft is communication. And Matt and I have touched on this a bunch, and I've spoken to Amanda about it. Poltergeist, our job is to we're not just entertaining, we're entertaining ourselves, but we've got this whole thing going on, and the more you can do to pull even just an element, or a pause, or like know when, what, if I just pace this a little slower, or maybe if I, combat sucks on hearing the dice all the time, I got to move a little quicker, or whatever it is. We can learn from each other. There's so many skilled, people out there doing this.
Like I've said, I don't like listening to live play. Most live play Twitch streams, YouTube's, podcasts, what have you, they're boring to me because it really is mainly just they're talking like they're around the table and
this is a little something extra. Yeah, this is
right.
something extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree.
I
mean,
so.
I love real play podcasts, but I can definitely understand there are a lot of them that I cannot sit through an episode of. They're just very dull and drab, and then there are some really incredible ones. And I think this is one of them for sure.
This one is truly incredible, yeah. And you have to wade through a lot of dull and drab to get those gems, and it's so worth it. When you
not here, in other podcasts.
Not here.
Let me turn my light off and go to. I'm done.
Cthulhu and Cairo is an exceptional podcast.
You think so? That's why we like doing a review. Yeah.
And listen, the people that we've just been so lucky. I'm a part, right? I mean, I'm the keeper, but it's the players. In Poltergeist with Amanda, I can only set the images. They do all the work, and really pull the story out of me. It's just that's why we say college and not just me. It's really the group, and I hope that my players watching and anybody else out there, if you have good players, work with them, learn with them. It's amazing. You can do some great stuff.
They will make you such a better GM.
Oh yeah. Good players are so key.
Yeah, that's something I'd like to talk more with us, especially as GMs, maybe in a future show. Talk about plot and how you got to have the players buy in and be able to play along with you, so to speak, and we'll give you some rope to work with, because there's so many times in a game where the players are like, no, and you need this to kind of extend. We can go ahead and do this, but this game's going to be an hour long because you're going right towards the chase. Let's do this.
My home group almost had a 10-minute game one night.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Come on. Exactly. Yeah. Same thing happened in a zombies game. I just ran one of Bloat's zombies games. Like everything went wrong. Their plan just went pear-shaped, and they went down from 6 players to 2. No, one healthy player in the span of 10 minutes. So it was just bad. But I was like, this is a zombie game. This is actually how it's supposed to be. You have a plan, and then one thing messes up that plan, and then boom, and in a survival horror kind of thing. But you got to be really careful in doing that. And that's something I'd like to discuss that with you, is like how you draw these players across such a long epic campaign, and not kill them, outright and stuff like that. I mean, some do unfortunately go.
We do lose people.
Yeah, but I mean, still not. Like halfway in, have a whole new group, stuff like that. Yeah.
Anytime you're doing a bigger, and one of the reasons, and we've kind of hit on this once before, but pulp characters tend to be a little hardier, so that does help in Cthulhu. Obviously, you want people that can take at least one bullet without being carried out, with a toe tag. The other one is giving. At the end of each chapter, off air, we roll to get some things back. So sanity will come back depending on how well they finish a chapter. Like if I think that they left pretty much unscathed, like let's say Faye at the last chapter had it rough, but for the most part, I'll give them some back, except the buy. Like Faye made that one buy where that deal, she can't go beyond that number. They get luck back. Yeah. So that's another thing we try to regenerate. It's just so they have a chance. And I introduced very early in the game the Eye of Ahriman, which is a reference to a Conan thing.
Yeah.
And that gives them a total break. Like, I got to get out of this problem now. I've walked myself into something I can't get out of. I'm going to pop my Eye of Ahriman. The key to what I did, though, was you can't do it for yourself. Somebody else has to do it for you, and they have to be in the scene. So if you split the party and go off by yourself, your Eye of Ahriman don't do shit. Like, you can't bail yourself out.
It's a box of Skivvy snacks.
What is Eye of Ahriman for those of us?
It's a blessing upon the pulp characters that got together. It's this one good force in the universe, Ahriman, that is just kind of watching over them, and it gives them that one moment to kind of like An Indiana Jones. I'm falling out of an airplane. I take my hat, I run my shoelaces through it, and I have a parachute.
Wherever it was Khonshu be like, nah.
Right, not Khonshu.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Exactly. I'll just make someone else look just like you. Sorry.
Yeah. But in Robert E. Howard's world, it was the heart of Ahriman, I believe, and it was this lucky thing that happened. But yeah, it's I just took the name Ahriman and said, okay, I'm going to use it for the players, and they know to do that. So it, like, there's a scene where Catherine jumps out of a plane and her chute doesn't open, and John Scully goes, burn my eye, I can see her, I can still see her, burn it, and her chute, the second chute opened right away. So yeah, they'll save each other that way, and it kind of builds more camaraderie. So it was, but that's sort of how we've been able to survive most of this so far.
Yeah, sweet. So, well, we're gonna wrap this up, and I wanted to thank you, Raz, for joining us, and
thank you.
As we start this, the Italian job. Cthulhu
I love the title for that. That's great.
That's what we call it. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna rename this one, the Italian job. But we're looking forward to hearing some great things from the rest of the group as we keep listening on, and we hope that the people who are watching the review continue to listen with us, and as we do the reviews and talk about a great podcast that we love being part of, being able to just do our bit.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You guys are the best. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Have fun at Gen Con, everybody.
We will.
Yeah, have fun. I'll miss you.
I'll miss you guys too.